All right, folks, we are in sunny southern France. As you can see, a beautiful day from our footage, and a beautiful day for a language lesson as well. Why not? Today we'll be talking about irony. And irony is, well, you could put it this way. Irony is a brand new plug-in hybrid vehicle with an optional sports exhaust system. Or another way, irony could be 22-inch optional wheels that you then have to complement with the optional massaging seats. So yeah, this is the all-new third-generation Porsche Cayenne E-Hybrid. Fair enough now, you know, hybrids, plug-ins, EVs, they are not the biggest thing in our region at the moment, but these things are picking up. For example, the Germans, they were telling me earlier, their case study for this car was basically look at all the Teslas on Dubai's roads, so they should be in on the game. And actually they've been in on the game for a while already. This is the third generation Cayenne hybrid. And if you look at markets like Europe, 60% of new Panamera sales are hybrids, which is a pretty substantial number. In our region, obviously, that's not even close. But the point of the whole thing is to warm us all up for these hybrids. And in the Middle East, at least, Porsche will not be positioning this, they're not going for volume with this car. They're trying to attract the customer who likes the early adopter, who likes the latest, coolest thing. They're trying to attract the guy who's ready to line up around the block for the new iPhone. And there are plenty of those in our region. All you need to do is look at Tesla's relative success. People aren't really buying it to save the planet. They're buying it because it's cool. And that's where Porsche has a good match in their hybrid strategy, at least, because they're not looking at it's not just, these cars are not a novelty anymore. These cars are not some kind of weak attempt to please the regulators around the world. Because don't forget, other countries, they have the tax man to worry about. Porsche is saying, look, we're using hybrid technology for performance gain. In many respects, that is true. I mean, one of the first hybrid was the $1 million hypercar, the 918 Spider, the thing that went sub-7 around the Nürburgring Nordschleife. And if you look back to the Panamera lineup, the Panamera is the flagship of the range is a hybrid. That's a good thing in a region where you go to a dealership and the most often heard phrase is full options. So if you ask for a full options Porsche, you're going to get a hybrid. This is going to be a fact soon across all of the companies' model lineups, because it's kind of an open secret that the next 911, the 992 generation, which we will see by the end of the year, that thing is going to have at least hybrid derivatives. And if you look at this new Cayenne lineup, the eventual flagship will also be a hybrid, the Turbo S hybrid. That's on the way. For now, we have this, the E-Hybrid. So all this time, with all these little hybrid Porsches, Panameras, Cayennes, blah, 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 Porsche's just been warming us up, for the main act, for when the sports cars start being electrified. Then it won't be such a shock when they arrive. Of course, you'll get a few people that'll complain, oh, where's my manual, But it'll be the accepted thing, it'll be the norm. And this 2019 Cayenne E-Hybrid represents that quite well, because driving around, it's just like any other car. You start it up, you don't hear anything, it starts in electric mode, and I did that earlier when I set up this morning. The first 35 kilometers were driven in zero emissions mode completely, using absolutely no fuel. Then I kept going. At about the 80 kilometer mark, I saw my average fuel economy was 4.3 liters per 100 kilometers, which is a pretty good thing. Especially when you consider that the new car has a V6, a 3-liter V6 single turbo engine, and the batteries, the electric motor and the whole thing, for a system total of 462 horsepower, which is plenty enough. More than enough, in fact. You get 0 to 100 in 5 seconds, you get a top speed of just over 250. But best of all, you get 700 Newton meters of torque from pretty much idle, which means you'll be whizzing around in zero emissions mode, cruising, and then you come up to the back of, Fort Dutchman pulling caravans and boats and driving slowly, and you just put your foot, the thing takes off, and you're out of there. And that was the whole idea when Porsche was designing this car. The whole point is for the owner to just, get in, sit down, and put it in drive, and off you go. There's no unnecessary gimmicks. The transition between electric drive, pure electric drive, hybrid drive, and the combustion engine. It's completely seamless, you can't feel it. And you come back to the whole performance thing, and again, it starts ringing true. You know, Porsche fits this thing as standard with Sport Chrono. They fit it as standard with the active suspension. And then again, you can see Porsche's point when they try to brag about how they use hybrid for performance gain only. Well, despite weighing some 300 kilograms over a standard Cayenne, there's no difference to the way it drives. It's still a Porsche, it's still a Cayenne. And it does everything you expect a sports SUV to do, including the off-road bit, actually, also, they claim. I can definitely see it. I can get down with that because it's like a self-gratifying thing. You know, you can really have your cake and eat it. 4.3 liters I averaged there, and to me, to have the performance and the efficiency, I think it's a pretty cool thing. And best of all, the brakes are not as grabby as they used to be, or as I remember them in the Panamera, especially in situations perhaps in town where there's a lot of stop-and-go traffic. You want to keep your passengers comfortable. There's no jerkiness. It's all very smooth. As far as the wheels are concerned, a bit on the big side for me. The 22 inches, they make the ride not uncomfortable, just firm, not, rough. It's just the difference is that you can feel all the vibrations of the road, all the little bumps, and yeah, maybe you could say, oh, that's steering feel. But in a big luxury car, it's an annoyance. So you don't have to go overboard, you just get the 20s or the 21s or something, and you still look good, And what else? A couple of more things to add before I go back to enjoying the beautiful weather here on the Riviera. A lot of new options for this car. For example, again, the wheels. They're the biggest wheels you can get on any Porsche, actually, at the moment. Massaging seats are first in the Cayenne. You got a self-parking option coming up very soon, which is a very handy option because this car is so wide it'll barely fit into a spot. And you've got an interior that's absolutely beautifully put together. I'm still getting used to the digitalization of all these cockpits because, you leave fingerprints everywhere. But it's necessary. This is the way we're going. Buttons are going away, and we all have to get used to it. In any case, Porsche does a beautiful job of this cabin. It's a great place to spend time in. As far as pricing is concerned, you're looking at less than 400,000 for this thing. It'll start from about 380 once you start putting up all the options that you want. You're looking at 450 easy, and 450,000 dirhams, that is. So, what is that? $150,000. It'll be in the region from the end of Ramadan in the summer and the end of June. Of course, you can order one right now. If you do, you'll be amongst the first to get yours in June. If full options is the first thing you utter when you walk into a showroom, then you'll have to wait for the Cayenne Turbo S Hybrid, I'm afraid. And if you can't wait that long, well, I'm pretty sure you'll be very happy with this thing.